Newstalk ZB, it is 10:07. Kerre Woodham with you through until midday, and through until 11 o'clock we have Richard Chambers, our Police Commissioner, joining us in studio. A very, very good morning to you.
Thank you, Kerre. Thanks.
Very nice to have you here. You've been in the role now for just 8 months. 8 months.
Gone very fast, Kerre.
I bet it has. So, yeah, good to catch up. We did have your predecessor in, but I'm hoping for more straight answers. He was very good at speaking the speak of the bureaucrats and decision makers.
Well, I'm a policeman, and I've maintained from day one that I never want to lose sight of how important that is.
Yeah.
Especially when I lead such a big team of amazing people. You know, I've been with some of them this morning, actually, here in Auckland, and love talking police things, challenges, opportunities, and at the end of the day, I'm a policeman, and I'll always do my best.
Yeah. We'll see, already a good answer. 0800 80 10 80 is the number to call if you have a question for our Police Commissioner. He's got a message for you, a safety message before we start.
Yes, Kerre. Look, my first message is wear sunscreen. And today I'm here and I know the cameras are rolling, you know. Looks like something bad's happened to me actually, but in fact this is the consequence of running around as a kid in New Zealand without wearing sunscreen. And so my wife just said to me, Richard, you need to go and sort that out. So I'm just working my way through getting the treatment for my skin so it doesn't develop into anything worse. But that's my message to everyone out there, especially the young kids, wear sunscreen.
As the song said back in the 90s. Nothing cancerous, though? Or
No. Good to be ahead of these things, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, let's start with some good news, too. Auckland's Police College, how is that going?
That's going exceptionally well. We've got 40 recruits there graduating in a few months' time. I was very proud to be there on their first day talking to them, and the feedback that I'm getting from them is it's going exceptionally well. So what we're doing now is actually looking at the second Auckland wing, and I'm really hoping that that will be underway very early in the new year.
And the rationale behind an Auckland college?
Well, there's been people who, for whatever family, personal reason, have struggled with 20 weeks down in Porirua. So this is about an opportunity for those that have always aspired to be a member of New Zealand Police, and by giving them the opportunity to train here in Auckland and go home, at the end of the day, children, whatever their family situations, well, why wouldn't we give them that opportunity? And when I asked them the question on day one, how many of you are here because we've given you the opportunity to train here in Auckland, most of them put their hand up. So that said to me that what a wonderful opportunity we can give them, and that's why we're going to work on a second wing early in the new year. And you know, many of those 40 are from Tāmaki Makaurau, but we have 8 here also from Northland. It also makes it easier for them to go home in the weekend because it's a bit closer.
One for the South Island, or is the demand not there?
At the moment our focus is certainly the North Island. Yes, we are recruiting in the South Island as well, but right now the need is greater in the North Island. And
who's applying to become a police officer? Because God knows it's a calling, you don't do it for the money.
Well, it's a fantastic job, and I'm as passionate 30 years on from when I started back in 96. I feel the same as I did back then. I love this job. It is an exceptional career, so many different opportunities. And people say, well, why would you want to work for one organisation for so long? And I say, well, actually, I've done so many different jobs. It doesn't feel like I've worked for one organisation, but 15,000 colleagues around the country do incredible work day and night, and it is an amazing career with so many different exciting opportunities. The variety that you get in policing is broad and challenging, no doubt, but the camaraderie that we have, helping people in their moment of most need, it's a very meaningful career. And that is why, in fact, right now we are receiving more applications monthly than we ever have, and we're putting a lot of effort into our recruiting, obviously, around the country. Things like ride along and other things are getting huge pickup, but there's so many good people out there who want to join New Zealand Police, because I've got my team working as fast as we can to recruit.
And you're not lowering any of the standards. Remember, there was a bit of hoo-ha about this, the ability to swim and things like that.
No, I've been very clear as Commissioner that standards and expectations matter. And, there may be some who need to do a little bit of extra work on something if they want to join New Zealand Police, but I maintain that they will put that extra bit of effort in if they really want to join New Zealand Police. So
you tell them where perhaps their application might be lacking, give them pointers about what they can do to bring themselves up to an acceptable level? Yes,
we do. We do have various things underway around the country to support people in their, the aspiration to join New Zealand Police, or whatever that may be.
All right, we'll go to a caller first. I have questions, but I did throw open the invitation. So, Kerre, you're first cab off the rank.
Yes, good morning. Very frustrating to see that the police turn the blind eye on people driving and riding like idiots on their roads, pulling wheel stands. Bikes aren't registered, bikes aren't warranted. Cars that aren't registered, cars that aren't warranted. I saw a car on the road the other day, 2018, and it had kids in it, and yet you guys will pull over a guy going for a red light, a guy not wearing a seatbelt, and you tend to just turn the blind eye on these, and people are getting really peeved off with it.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? I mean, I'm on the road all day, and I have nearly hit 2 or 3 of them. I know for a fact that they'll get all their mates to come back and beat me up because it's my fault.
Kerre, look, good question. I have a large part of my organisation out there policing our roads. Sadly, New Zealand still has far too many people dying and being harmed on our roads, and I know that my staff are very committed to policing our roads. Yes, we're not always going to be able to deal with every situation, but I concur with exactly what you said. Yesterday I drove from Wellington to Auckland. I could easily fly, but I like to drive because I can visit my staff along the way and observe behaviours on the roads myself. And when I drive a police car, as I said at the beginning of this session with Kerre, I'm still a policeman, and so there's no reason why I can't help enforce the law, because I don't want anybody being harmed on the roads or worse. So there may be times when you're frustrated, and I'm sure you're not alone. I'm certainly with you when I'm not working, if you like, and driving around in my own car, and I see behaviours that disappoint me as well. But we do a remarkable job. We are working really, really hard. And anybody who's experienced trauma on New Zealand roads know why we'll continue to work very hard.
The road checks, the licence checks and the breath checks and things, how many actual crims do they pull up? How many people do you get who are breaking the law, or who, you might think there's a rifle in the back of this car and that shouldn't be there?
Yeah, well, actually, very good question, Kerre. Look, I from time to time, of course, when something presents before my frontline staff, they need grounds to have a closer look. That could be the smell of drugs. It could be that they've seen something in the car or some sort of a weapon. Of course, one of the things I'm most proud about policing is that our police officers up and down the country often know their local people, and sometimes if somebody's known to us to be wanted, then we can have a chat to them as well. So it's very hard to put statistics behind your question, but I know that having participated in things like checkpoints myself over the years, that you may certainly be there to help police the roads, but inevitably other things present, and my staff are good dealing with those as well.
We'll take a break. Back with your calls in a moment. Newstalk ZB 1016.
Next week is Play Centre Open Week. Experience early childhood education where families play, learn and grow together. Book your visit today at playcentre.org.nz.
Yummy have been growing the best apples for over 50 years.
Collecting Yummy stickers can earn our schools free sports gear.
Yummy apples, good for you, great for schools.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
If you're age 60 plus, there's more than one reason to consider a Heartland Bank reverse mortgage. Number 3, a helpful team and comprehensive information. The team at Heartland Bank, a 100% New Zealand bank, takes the time to explain how it all works. Just clear guidance from people who genuinely care. Unlock equity in your home with Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank Limited's responsible lending criteria, T's and C's and fees apply. Learn more at heartland.co.nz.
I have a new companion, so kind and understanding. Going out used to drive me crazy. Now I'm driving with Miss Daisy.
Pop out for a coffee or a nice cup of tea. Take a couple of friends. Go for a spree. Friendship and fun, it's how life should be.
Now I'm driving with Miss Daisy. Now I'm driving with Miss Daisy.
Book a coffee outing today through your local Daisy franchise.
You wanna move it, you wanna lift it. Central Group can show you how to shift it.
Never has there been a better time to look at new Takeuchi construction equipment, famous for their dependable track loaders and compact excavators. Proudly supplied by Central Group. With the government's investment boost, you can buy new Takeuchi equipment and deduct 20% off the cost from your taxable income. Talk to Central Group about new Takeuchi equipment today.
Want to stay warm all winter long? Easy. Call EES for 10% off all Mitsubishi electric heat pumps and air conditioning systems. Whether it's one room, multiple rooms or the whole home, EES has your heating covered with 10% off New Zealand's most trusted heat pump brand, Mitsubishi Electric, including design and installation from the experts at EES. Terms and conditions apply. Call EES on 0800 337 123 today. EES for Aircon Direct.
Yummy have been growing the best apples for over 50 years.
Collecting Yummy stickers can earn our schools free sports gear.
Yummy apples, good for you, great for schools.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
Big stories, bigger perspective.
I don't think people are telling pollsters they would vote for Labor because they would actually vote for Labor. Labor hasn't got any policies. This is a protest vote.
With personal popularity sitting at about 20%, Luxon's a drag on the National Party, but he is not their actual problem. Their problem is that the economy is stuffed.
If Chris Hipkins stupid enough to even hint that a family home could be part of a new tax, give up right now because you're toast. Irony of ironies, it was Hipkins himself with the captain's call that dropped it last time.
Every view from every angle. Newstalk ZB.
Newstalk ZB. We are with our Police Commissioner Richard Chambers, who's taking your calls, like this one from Sharma. Good morning to you, Sharma.
Good morning, and I just wanted to ask Commissioner Richard a clarity more than a question. Some of us are over 60, but not too over 60, but physically pretty fit and still doing the normal things done policing in countries we migrated from. Is there limitations, restrictions that the police recruitment system have in terms of getting people like me? You know, we want to contribute back in some form in a way, and we are not really employment hungry, but more or less trying to give back to the community.
Very good question, Chalmer. Look, through my career in policing, I've seen many join New Zealand Police in a constabulary way who are in their 50s. And, you know, whatever age you are, you've still got the same standards and expectations to meet physically and what have you. But what I probably suggest is that you don't always have to make a meaningful contribution to policing just by being constabulary, because we have many jobs. In fact, 5,000 staff in my workforce are civilian and make just as important contribution to policing in whatever their roles are. And I think about my staff that work in the communications centres, and a lot of what we do in terms of interactions with the public. In fact, 73% of what we do interacting with the public comes from my non-constabulary staff. So many different opportunities in policing. If you're very, very keen, you've just got to keep your eye out for those opportunities. 60 shouldn't get in the way.
So if you are really, really good with computers and say 60 years old, would you be able to help out with the white-collar crime investigations?
Yes,
without having to do the drag the body and the climb over the wall.
Absolutely, Kerre. In fact, over the recent few years, my workforce has expanded because we've needed specialists and people who have skills and knowledge and experience that is fantastic to us in policing to investigate crime and hold people to account. That's law enforcement that's developing globally in terms of realising that actually those that help us get outcomes for the communities and individuals aren't always going to be constabulary.
Okay, cool. We have to take a break again. It's 10:22.
At Woolworths, we bring you the freshest produce for those hearty winter meals, like loose New Zealand grown brown onions. A fresh deal at just 85 cents a kg. That's the fresh food feeling at Woolworths. T's and C's apply.
At My Food Bag, sharing delicious food is what we do best. We're so excited to now offer a range of foodie gifts with easy one-off delivery. From comforting meals to thoughtful care packages. Visit the new shop section of My Food Bag to find out more.
What does workplace well-being really mean?
At Geneva Wellbeing, we believe it isn't a destination you reach, it's a direction you choose.
It's about moving your workplace culture forward and your team's mental health.
Not just managing issues, but preventing them. Whether you need team and leadership workshops
or return to work programs.
We provide preventative and recovery programs that build healthier, more productive work environments.
GenevaWellbeing.co.nz, moving your people and culture forward.
Now's the perfect time to retire in style at the Helier with our $50,000 Best Chapter bonus. Not only are you moving to a welcoming community, your first year's weekly fees are free. Plus, you'll receive a $20,000 Soren Live Interiors voucher, and that's just the start. Make the move of a lifetime with our Best Chapter bonus. Book your private tour today. Oceania, believe in better. Limited time only. TCs and eligibility criteria apply. For full terms, visit thehelier.co.nz.
Catching up with mates at the local. Rugby on the big screen. Debating the ref's call. Don't miss a moment. Call Audica Hearing Clinic on 0800 00 4342 to book your free hearing check. Enjoy better hearing for life with Audica. Free hearing checks for adults over 18 years old.
Weeknights from 6, it's the business hour.
Thanks to Maz Insurance and Investments.
Maz has full area replacement house insurance, where they'll pay the reasonable costs for a rebuild, reinstating your home to the same size and standard as it was before.
T's, C's and underwriting criteria may apply. Visit mas.co.nz.
Focused on local and international issues to keep you fully informed. It's the business hour, weeknights from 6.
With Maz on Newstalk ZB.
Auckland, 89.4 FM. Kerre Woodham Mornings. Engaging conversation on Newstalk ZB.
We have Police Commissioner Richard Chambers here taking your calls. Couple from the text machine. Muz says, what's the Commissioner's view on citizen's arrest? Can I physically stop someone if they're walking out with a trolley full of groceries at New World?
Well, Muz, safety always comes first. The reality is, as we go about our private lives, we see things unfolding. That is my message is just remember the safety of yourself and others and whatever you might choose to intervene in. Sadly, and we see it in policing, sometimes these situations can result in tragedies, and I don't want anybody getting hurt, but it does happen. So we need to think very carefully about what intervention members of the public make.
What's the stance from the police, though? Will they prosecute to try and deter others from making a citizen's arrest?
Well, that's a tricky one. Kerre, no, is the answer. Is that, I mean, I can't think actually of any situations now where we've prosecuted someone because they've intervened, but obviously when it comes to the use of force, yes, of course that is a consideration, and if someone elects to intervene in a certain situation and they use force that is not proportionate to the situation, then that becomes a matter for the police to investigate. So, we need to be very careful about the decision making when it comes to these things happening in the community, because they might have other outcomes.
Michelle asks, mine's more a statement, but how do you keep up the morale of police who do great investigative work and bring lowlives to court such as the privileged drug dealer discussed yesterday, only to have the courts give them home detention. It's absolutely infuriating for members of the public. I can't imagine what it's like for police.
Yes, look, I've been a detective in my career as well, and I've presented cases before the court, and, you know, sometimes the outcome hasn't sort of met my own expectations personally, and I've felt a bit let down, in particular when victims are involved. But the reality is it's not our job to form a view on that. Our job is to put the facts before the court, the evidence before the court, and let the processes take their course. So, but at the end of the day, you know, police people are human beings too, and sometimes outcomes aren't quite what we'd like them to be.
That was more of a politician's answer than a policeman's answer.
Well, I have to be careful, obviously, commenting on decisions that are not for me to, comment on.
But it does impact on the force because, or the service, the police service, I think it's still called, isn't it, rather than police force?
Yes, well, yes.
Anyway. It does impact on the men and women who work in your teams, because if they think that their job is utterly futile, they're doing their bit to try and keep society and the community safe.
Yes, 100% agree.
So if it impacts on them, then you have an issue. Can you make, in your role as Commissioner, make submissions to the Justice Minister, to the courts?
Yeah, in fact, I will tell you now that I had conversations with 2 detectives yesterday from one certain part of New Zealand. They were quite frustrated, actually, with some outcomes in relation to matters they'd been working very, very hard on. I gave them the reassurance that I would present their concerns to my peers in the justice sector, and in fact I'm meeting with them this afternoon. So my job is to put our concerns forward and see where that goes, and, you know, if there's agreement across the sector that there's something we need to do, and one of those has been the timeliness actually of the justice system, then we'll do something about that, and that's in part, timeliness is one of those issues that we're addressing.
All right. Are you making any inroads when it comes to the gangs? Because your recruiting's up, so is the gangs.
Absolutely. I'm very, very proud of my staff across the country who have embraced the new legislation, the wearing of gang insignia. And I'm not sure how many it is now, but I think it may be over 700 prosecutions for the wearing of insignia. That has helped us to address the gang issues. And in fact, whilst the gang insignia is one aspect, the reality is that gangs are responsible for a very high and disproportionate number of other serious criminal offending. So we're addressing that too, and we have thousands of additional charges that have been presented to the court. Because as we go about our police work, we may well be policing things like patches, then we inevitably are dealing with other things as well, and I look at that. So I know that there's been a lot of commentary about gang numbers and stuff like that, but the reality is my teams across the country are focused on holding gang members to account, and I'm very, very proud of their hard work. And I think we would all agree that that legislation has definitely gone extremely well, and the compliance level is something that I'm very, very pleased with.
In my own neighbourhood, I used to get so brassed off with them swaggering with the shiny bikes, and it was basically recruiting on the corner where the cafe was. They'd park up the Harleys, and the leathers were immaculate. If only they could keep their homes as clean as they keep their bikes. And it used to make me feel like I was having my nose rubbed in their dirty business.
Yeah, and one of the things about policing is that, yes, we work incredibly hard to keep people safe, but it's also about the feelings of safety. And when you see an absence of gang members walking down the road wearing their paraphernalia, then that is helpful for us all.
Newstalk ZB, it's 10:30.
Newstalk ZB Auckland. Time saver traffic.
NZ Fashion Week 2025, 5 days of iconic Kiwi style. Now we've got a crash in Avondale, Riversdale Road at St David Street. If you can update us, 0800 jammed. The Southern Motorway moderate coming in from Mount Wellington through to Green Lane. The Northern City bound slow at Esmond. Designer runways, bold looks, unforgettable moments. Book now at nzfashionweek.com. Fashion starts there. Time saver traffic.
Get your bet on with TAB's Same Game Multi. Fast, easy multis now across more sporting codes and markets than ever before. Use team form and recent stats to back smarter bets. Still not sure? See what's trending with popular Same Game Multi. R18, bet responsibly.
Versatile's Get More Garage sale is on now. Save up to 15% off kit set garages, farm buildings, sleep outs and carports. Hurry, August only. T's and C's apply. Visit versatile.co.nz to find out more.
That's Versatile.
Women's Lifestyle Expo.
Ready for the ultimate girls' day out? Next weekend, the Hamilton Women's Lifestyle Expo returns. Get your friends together for shopping, sipping and sampling. With 180 brands under one roof, from fashion to beauty to gourmet treats, it's 2 days of pure indulgence. August 23rd and 24th at Claudelands Event Centre. Early bird tickets from just $7 plus fees. Book now at womenslifestyleexpo.co.nz.
Women's Lifestyle Expo.
Maddie didn't think she needed a DVS system.
I've got a heat pump. That should do.
But it didn't do it, did it, Maddie?
No, my windows wouldn't stop crying condensation.
So Maddie got DVS home ventilation and its fresh air in, stale air out technology went to work, making her rooms drier, healthier and condensation free. Say yes to DVS. Your healthy home isn't complete without it.
The heart of a healthy home. DVS.
Every day across New Zealand, thousands of Kiwis hand us their keys. At Auto Super Shops, we understand what these keys represent. Their trust, their confidence, their family's safety. Behind every set of keys is a Kiwi who's trusting us to keep their vehicle running safely and smoothly. That's why, up and down the country, we have hundreds of skilled mechanics ready to earn your trust every day with expert care and attention to detail.
It's the place to stop. Your Auto Super Shops.
We're New Zealand's mechanic.
Newstalk ZB headlines.
With Blue Bubble taxis, it's no trouble with a blue bubble. Former Prime Minister Helen Clark says she's seen vital aid trucks being turned away from Gaza at the Rafah border. New Zealand is weighing up whether to join about 150 countries, including the UK, Canada, Australia and France, in recognising a Palestine state. Greens co-leader Chloe Swarbrick says focus needs to be on the crisis, not words used to advocate for Palestine. She was sent out of Parliament yesterday after saying MPs with spine need to back her bill to sanction Israel. The Aotearoa Media Wellbeing Survey suggests journalists feel bruised and exhausted by years of layoffs and public distrust, with a quarter optimistic about the industry's future. Meat Company Alliance won't confirm whether it received an offer from Silver Fern Farms after revealing it is considering a bid from Ireland's Dawn Meat to buy a 65% stake. Otago University research has found people are generally happier living sustainable lifestyles and relying less on material items. Youth justice, meth use and fight clubs. Oranga Tamariki can't find evidence to back Labour MP's claims. You can find out more at NZ Herald Premium. Now back to Kerre Woodham.
Thank you very much, Susie. It is, what is it? Just had to try and do some sums. I'll look at the computer. 25 minutes to 11. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Jevon McSkimming. That's disappointing in the extreme.
Yes, Kerre, it is. Obviously, I can't really say much. It's before the court right now, but look, I shared a message with all my staff across the country when things were playing out in the media, and I expressed my anger and my disappointment and how let down I felt, and I wanted to share those feelings with my staff because I know that's how they feel. But I will say, obviously, that police people are not above the law, and frankly, rank doesn't matter. We're all accountable for the same things as a member of the public are. So that's as far as I can say. But I feel for my frontline staff in particular out there doing an amazing job day and night, because when these things do play out, it is them that often feel the heat from, and quite unfairly, frankly. So. Men and women of my organisation do a remarkable job, and it's not a helpful, but it's the actions of an individual, but it's before the court.
Because so much work has been done, hasn't there, on the culture of the police after the... I'm trying to think of a polite word of saying it, but, after the horror of the rapey, boysy culture, and so much work has been done.
Yes, it has.
And half of the police officers now wouldn't have been alive or wouldn't have been at school when that was happening. And then along comes another bad apple that taints the whole crop.
our reputation is critically important for trust and confidence internally, externally, and we have so much to be proud of. And when things happen, colleagues, whoever they are, whatever they've done, if they let us down, they let us all down. And I had the privilege last year of living in France and working overseas and working with law enforcement, and throughout that experience I was constantly reminded of just how lucky we are in New Zealand to have the support of the public, the support of each other, doing a very, very hard job. So when these things emerge in the way that this recent experience has, that impacts on all of us, and I really feel for my teams out there.
Dorothy, very good morning to you.
Morena.
Morena.
Oh, I just wanted to pass on praise. My son has just qualified and was in the last recruit. The wing has just qualified in July in Porirua. Amazing support, fantastic orientation, and the welcome he's had within the police force has been absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you, Dorothy. That's fantastic to hear. And can I say thank you to you, because families are critically important for my staff across the country, and we do a tough job. Mums, dads, brothers, sisters, sons and daughters are all part of us being our absolute very best in policing. So thanks to your support to your son and for other members of the family. He's got a tough job, but he has, and knowing that he's got your support, family support, and also the police family, that matters. And thank you to you, Dorothy.
Yeah, no, not a problem. So thank you to you and your staff. As I said, nothing but praise.
Thanks very much.
Oh, fantastic. And another one, Lisa says, compliments for the outstanding community policing that's happening in Westport. Sergeant Georgie Ware is a gem, says Lisa.
Yep, well, Lisa's right. I've had the privilege of working with Georgie in the West Coast when I was the district commander for Tasman, and I've seen Georgie at work, and she's fantastic for the teams that she leads, but she's fantastic for the Westport community as well. So big shout out. I completely agree with that comment about her. She's a great leader.
What happens to the rural policing in like Culverden, places like that? How do you make the decision to close those police stations?
Well, very good question, Kerry. Yes, there's a proposal out, and I'm really hoping that we get lots of submissions from the community down there across Canterbury, because it's those submissions that will be taken into account to help decide if anything happens. So
why was it raised in the first instance? Because it causes a lot of unrest, especially when the farming community are isolated and they are also targeted by lowlives.
Yes, look, and I appreciate that it has caused some concern, but all I can do is encourage people to make a submission. There's been no decisions made. It's important that we continually look at how we police and where we are and what have you, but no community should be feeling like they're not cared for by police, because we do we want to be our best for everybody. So I encourage submissions from and they will come in and decisions will be made, and I have met with the District Commander Tony Hill just the other day, and will happily support him in making the right decisions for communities as well as...
So the decision hasn't been made to close it?
No, decisions haven't been made yet. No, the phase that we're in now is just a proposal where we invite submissions, and I'll own the fact that, yes, the proposal should have been released to the community much sooner than it was. We'll learn from that and be better for it if we encounter something similar in the future, but it should have gone out to communities a lot sooner, and I think they could have understood that what we're trying to do here is consult with both internally and externally, and then decisions will be made. So no decisions have been made at this point.
I've had a couple of texts from people who've had run-ins with the police when they were young, driving charges, minor offences, but they were convicted. Now they've grown up, as we do, and they'd like to join the police, but they can't.
Case by case basis, Kerry. That's the reality. Is we need to look at that. We need to, we do a lot of work to help understand those that are keen to join the police and the decisions to allow them to join or not. I can't comment on individual experiences without knowing the details. But do you have sworn staff who might have had a drink drive conviction in their youth? Yes, we have. We have indeed got police people out there who have, for whatever indiscretion, minor join New Zealand Police, because we've got to take a common sense approach to those that we allow to join. Yes, many of these are a long time ago, and we take that into account. A lot happens from the youth to where they are as adults, and so we're not saying no across the board, but we do need to look closely to make sure that doesn't impact on their ability to be a good police officer.
Newstalk ZB, it is 19 to 11.
Hi, I'm Mike from Wairamatar Back Care Beds. It's been 30 years now since we, as a retailer, brought King Coil beds to New Zealand. Over this time, we've built our business around the King Coil brand, as because their beds are endorsed by the International Chiropractors Association, it sits well with the Back Care Beds part of our name. To celebrate our 30th year of building the business around these great beds, right now, not only do you get 40 to 60% off a great selection of King Coil Back Care and premium mattresses in our week-long sale, but also when you select one of these mattresses, for only $1 more, you get a matching size designer base to complete the ensemble. Check us out today.
Wairamatar Back Care Beds and Beds.
Does your vacuum cleaner suck? Lawnmower not making the cut? Well, book your Auckland Council inorganic collection today and we could recycle it tomorrow. We collect items on your property and do everything we can to minimise landfill waste. To find out what's accepted, where to place it and how to book your collection, search Auckland Council Inorganics online. All together Auckland. Tāmaki Turiki.
The New Zealand Symphony Orchestra presents 3 sensational concerts over one weekend this August. Be enchanted by Stravinsky's Petrushka, soar through the sky with Vaughan Williams' The Lark Ascending, explore the creepy crawlies of the forest with special guest host Brett McKenzie, and much, much more. August 15th to 17th at Auckland Town Hall. Tickets from $22. Book at nzso.co.nz.
Interested in new weight loss treatments? Come directly to Life Pharmacy Albany, Newmarket and Manukau for your private weight loss consultation and medication if required. Book now at lifepharmacy.co.nz.
Go Harvey Norman today for your home of amazing deals. Amazing deals on home appliances, TVs, computers, technology, furniture, bedding and more. One finance options. We've got you covered. Terms, conditions and fees may apply. See in store or online for details. Shop Harvey Norman today.
Go! Hi, Mike from Wairamatar Back here again. Did you get that before? Only pay $1 for a designer bed base to go with a King Coil mattress that you already got between 40 and 60% off. Check it out.
Hard opinion, robust talkback. It's Kerre Woodham Mornings with pinnaclelife.co.nz. Easy online life insurance. Newstalk ZB.
Really nice comments. We haven't had to hide the text machine from the Commissioner's people at all, which we sometimes have to do with politicians. I think there's been a great deal of... there's always been, I think, a faith and trust in our police, Tabitha Paul notwithstanding. I know that there are some people who perhaps have had bad experiences with police, but there's always been a faith in our police, I think. But it's been emboldened, perhaps. People feel more secure in expressing their support for the police now.
Yes, and I'm incredibly grateful for that support because it does matter. And my colleagues across the country, they've got a tough job to do, Kerry. And when we know that we've got the public out there encouraging us, hey, look, I've always said we're not always going to get it right. We're not perfect, but we do our absolute best, and the support matters, and I'm very grateful, and I know that they are too.
Yeah, everyone's got their favourite officer. Just a quick note to say thank you for the work you and your team do across Aotearoa. Special shout out to Detective Matt Ball and the Sergeant. Absolute legends. Their dedication and mahi don't go unnoticed in Pukekohe and our small community, Ngā mihi nui.
Very nice, thank you. I was actually out in Pukekohe not that long ago, speaking with colleagues there, and they're doing an exceptional job actually. So thanks to Matt and the team.
Dean, good morning to you.
Good morning, Nick Commissioner. Good morning, Kerry. Just saying you're definitely the right man from the job. I knew your reputation when you were at Tasman, I'd retired before you joined the job, but I knew your reputation there. Had a lot of cases with your dad in the Supreme Court, the serious cases, and I believe you're the right man for the job. But that political question that Kerry mentioned a little while ago, you've got 9 years of the previous government who changed foundational values, and it seeped into the police to overcome there where you are at the present time. Don't know how you're getting on there. But the question I wanted to ask you, sir, the patches to stop visible gang members, which definitely has helped the public from an intimidation point of view, but there's something deeper needed to stop the numbers growing. And I was suggesting perhaps the gangs, the serious ones, the Mungis and the Black Power, those ones being declared a criminal cartel, and anyone who joins them commits an offence. Working on legislation around that. Would you consider that?
Yeah, look, thank you, Dean, and thanks for the shout-out for the work I did down in Tasman. And also, I must say, thanks for the shout-out to my dad, actually, who's probably not listening. He's getting on a wee bit, but I know that he's made a huge contribution too, so thank you, Dean. Well, yeah, you're talking about organised criminal groups, and we do have legislation now that is really empowering us to deal with those. I mean, offshore we deal with cartels and mafia and all sorts of things, and our international network was very hard to keep New Zealand safe by addressing some of those issues alongside other law enforcement. But in terms of New Zealand and our current laws, it's a tricky one. It's probably something that political masters may think about. But since the introduction of laws towards the end of November last year, and the work that we've done ever since, we are really feeling very well supported and empowered to deal with the problems in communities across New Zealand. So, as long as we keep doing that, I'll be very proud of the outcomes that we are getting in terms of safety.
How much of a network of policing have you got through the Pacific to try and, I don't know how you try and stop that flow of drugs coming from South America down through the islands when there are so many islands, and the ravages that drug importation and drug use is perpetuating in the Pacific is just horrific. Are you all working together to try and at least impede the progress of drugs?
Yes, we are, Kerry, and in fact early in my time I made a point of getting up to the Pacific, and I've met with Commissioner Tudravu in Fiji, Commissioner Filippo Samoa, most recently Commissioner Joseph in Rarotonga, and I've got more visits planned because the Pacific is a vulnerability for not just the Pacific but also for New Zealand. I work very closely with my Australian colleagues, the Australian Federal Police. I'm hosting a number of the commissioners from the Pacific in New Zealand next week, over 20 of them. And we will be talking through next week about what we can do more together. I've got some ideas. I do have some staff already based in the Pacific, but I would like to be able to increase that, not only in support of those Pacific nations, but also, of course, keeping our own country safe.
Yeah, coming into our ports. Right. What's the problem with cameras? Corrections have had them for years. Why do you not?
Yeah, body-worn cameras.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've been very clear that, that under my time as the Commissioner, I want to ensure that we do get body-worn cameras. It's something that requires a lot of thought, a lot of investment.
There's been a lot of thought.
Yeah, I know. And, having worked offshore last year, most developed police nations do have cameras. And
it keeps the police officers safe too in a time where you've got social media presenting one side of the story.
Absolutely, it does. It helps tell a story when we need to tell a story. So there are a number of benefits from body-worn cameras. We will bring...
What's the hold-up?
We've got some legislative work to work through. There's some costs, but I'm working really hard to ensure that we provide for this initiative. I can't give you a time frame, but I'm determined to make it happen
within your term as Commissioner.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And the wearing of sidearms.
Yes.
Are you supportive? More and more police officers are. When I first started as a journalist, they were not. I think there were a few outliers who saw themselves as the sheriffs of the Wild West. Now more than half say that they would support wearing sidearms because it's a more dangerous society.
It is. Definitely policing has changed, certainly changed from when I was on the front line many years ago. Personally, I would love to live in a country where police staff didn't have to carry a firearm routinely, But we have to keep an open mind, and I said on day one of my commissionership that I'm up for the conversation if we get to a point where we need to have that. But yes, you were right, Kerry. There has certainly been an increase in the number of police colleagues that think that maybe we should have that conversation. I'm open to it, albeit I would love to live in a country where we didn't have to.
Newstalk ZB, and it is 9 to 11.
Power up your whole setup with big tech deals at Warehouse Stationery. Switch on a Lenovo IdeaPad Slim Chromebook for just $399 and a Xeon 27-inch monitor for only $199. Big tech deals on now at Warehouse Stationery. Conditions apply.
Hey Eric, I found the perfect job on Seek.
Oh yeah?
It says looking for a strong leader, fluent in gorilla.
Oh.
Job title, King of the Jungle.
Tarzan, sounds like the perfect job for you.
For the best job matches. And you shall find.
As New Zealanders, we're proud of our unique nature, but it's in trouble, and most of us don't realise how bad the situation is. More than 4,000 of New Zealand's native species are threatened or at risk of extinction. That's more than any other country. Action is needed fast. The Department of Conservation has a big job to do, and they're focusing their efforts on where they can make the most difference. They can't do it alone. Your donation can support 3 urgent projects: saving the Alborn skink with an estimated total population of 30 individuals, saving the country's rarest breeding bird, the beautiful taraiti, the New Zealand fairy tern, with fewer than 40 adults left, and protecting a limestone ecosystem with 3 special limestone plant species on the brink of extinction. DOC needs support to do more and do it faster. You can donate now through New Zealand Nature Fund. Just visit doc.govt/donations.
Is your bloated belly making you look and feel fat and miserable? Caruso's Fluid Clear to the rescue. Caruso's Fluid Clear contains a unique blend of herbs, celery seed, stonebreaker and dandelion to provide support for bloating, fluid balance and urine output. So if you're fed up with your bloated belly making you look and feel fat and miserable, try Caruso's Fluid Clear today. Caruso's Fluid Clear comes with a 100% money-back guarantee and is available from Chemist Warehouse. Read the label, use only as directed. Caruso's Health Sydney.
The Hamilton Women's Lifestyle Expo is back. Discover 180 exhibitors showcasing fashion, beauty, gifts, eco-products and more. Sample delicious treats and beverages. Plus, you could win a trip for 2 to Tahiti with return flights and 7 nights in paradise. All thanks to World Travellers, Sofitel Kia Morea Beach Resort and La Tahiti by Pearl Resorts. August 23rd and 24th at Claudelands Event Centre. Get early bird tickets now at womenslifestyleexpo.co.nz.
Newstalk ZB, that's it. That went quickly, didn't it?
I loved every moment of that, Kerry. I do actually.
I'm glad. We'd love to have you back on. So many lovely, lovely comments. Just want to thank you to you and the Commissioner. Really enjoyed your program this morning. Hopefully he will come again.
Absolutely. He's going to invite me.
Bravo, Kerry, bravo. Fantastic chat with Richard Chambers, says Kay. That man is gold. Exactly what this country needs. Refreshing to hear straight forward, unwavering answers. Thank you for sharing him with us. I think it was the police that shared him with us. Do feel free to continue to do so regularly. Yep, they'd like you to come back on. Great to hear such a heartwarming interview. We all need that. I'll pass these on to you. I haven't seen any negative ones. Would you like the negative ones too?
Yes, it's always good to know both sides.
Yep, okay,
always good.
Now, we always end with a song. Do you have a song that you would like to go out on?
Well, you know, I'm actually an Andrea Bocelli fan.
Are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I think he's a remarkable opera singer.
Have you seen him live?
Yes, I have, here in Auckland, actually.
Oh, really? Because
yes,
I was going to say, when you're in France, you might have had the opportunity.
Tried to, but never lined up, but I did see him live here in Auckland. But as the police commissioner, and knowing that I've got 15 outstanding colleagues out there across New Zealand, I think the right song to play at the end is He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother.
That was a police recruiting song back in the day.
It certainly was.
I remember it vividly. Was the old-fashioned police uniform with the helmets.
That's right.
God, they must have been irritating, those helmets.
Well, yes, there's still a few of them around, but you know, we've modernised a wee bit, haven't we? But I think that image is one that's in many memories. Yes, but certainly I think given the police, and shout out to all my colleagues out there across the country and the public for the support. I think that would be quite a nice song to finish on.
Be a lovely one. Is that what got you into policing? Because that must have been around about the same time as you joined the police.
I think you might be right, Kerry.
Yeah.
Gosh, 96.
Yeah.
Yes, it maybe even before. I think as a kid growing up, I always wanted to be a policeman.
I can remember,
I remember
that ad as well as the police officer picking up the little boy.
That's right. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, we're showing our age now, Kerry.
I know. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be old, a privilege to have you in the studio. Thank you so much, and thank you to all the policemen and women and the teams who support them. Newstalk ZB, it is 3 to 11.